It's the most wonderful time of the year. Minky Couture's holiday season is here. Wrap your loved ones in the gift of luxury with our softest, coziest blankets ever. Perfect for movie nights, chilly mornings, or those magical Christmas Eve moments. From kids to grandparents, there's a Minky for everyone. Shop our exclusive holiday collection now, in-store or online at minkycouture.com. But hurry, Santa's favorites won't last long. Minky Couture, making your holidays merry, bright, and oh so cozy.
Coming to you live from the Elliott Avenue Studios, this is The Barbershop. Brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail, the official auto detail provider of the Seattle Seahawks. And by the Trufant Family Foundation, an organization aimed at improving the community one kid at a time. With Marcus Trufant, here's T. Holla.
Welcome to The Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. My name is T. Holla.
And yes, it's Marcus Trufant.
And we are coming to you live and direct from Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's closest casino, the above it all experience, where they are throwing bean bags in front of us, and it is going down like it normally does. I don't know why you are not here. You know the routine. Every week that the Seahawks have a home game, True and I are here hanging out with all the fun, beautiful people here at Snoqualmie Casino. But since you are not here, or you are on your way here, we want to thank you for tuning in and listening to us right here on 950 KJR. Or if you are tuned in on the iHeartRadio app anywhere around the world, we appreciate you hanging out because Nathaniel is back in the studio, and I think we got a question for him.
You got a question for me, right?
Yeah, I got a question.
All right, well, what is the question?
Shoot, T. Shoot. What's the question?
I want to know what day it is, Nathaniel.
Guess
Come
what
on.
day it is? Huh? Anybody?
You didn't ask me the question. You're supposed to be. You're supposed
That
to
was
ask.
the day I wanted to. That was our. We had it set. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Nathaniel he's just got back from San Francisco, so he's got this San Francisco Bay Area thing on his mind right now, and he's not really functioning all the way. We had this planned for like 7 days.
Yeah, we did.
You did it differently than you said you were going to do it originally.
Whatever. man.
Excuses.
Anyways, excuses. We got a hell of a show lined up for you guys. It is Hump Day, which means it's Barbershop Day, a little bit closer to the weekend. Thank you guys again for joining us. We're going to be talking about, some crazy stuff that's happening around the NFL, extracurricular stuff. We're going to be talking about the Seahawks a little bit, True. Some of the things that they're going through, and can they beat that Philadelphia Eagles team that is coming here this Sunday night?
They dogs right now. They underdogs, T.
They are definitely underdogs. We're going to talk about that and see if they have an opportunity to beat the odds. We definitely going to talk a little college football. And tonight, for all of my movie trivia madness buffs out there, you're going to have a chance to beat Marcus Trufant in movie trivia, so you want to stay tuned. It is Movie Madness with Marcus Trufant, all going down tonight here in the Barbershop. True.
What up, T?
What's up with you, man?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. I'm living for the city. I'm out here doing it. Shout out to Coma 253, the wife, the kids.
You feeling good about it right now, I see. You feeling real good, huh?
Yeah, man, feeling good. I just got done with the holidays. You know, we ain't talked since Thanksgiving, right?
We have not.
Yeah,
no.
man, I know we had a great show right before Thanksgiving, and, man, it was good to get with family, chilled out with the kids, and now we right back at it, man. We still moving into the house. I know you just moved into your crib. I'm just getting into mine, man, getting things done.
Yep.
And moving forward, man.
Before we get into the whole holiday thing, I want to make something very clear tonight as the show goes on. I know there was something that happened last week. As a matter of fact, it was last weekend. As a matter of fact, it was last Saturday. It was a football game that took place in Seattle.
I thought we said it wasn't going to bring that up.
Between two colleges. That's why I want to set the record clear here before we start moving forward. I am not going to gloat at all about the Apple Cup.
Thank you, Terry.
I'm not going to
really
delve into
that,
the
man.
fact of the fact that the Huskies, entered the game ranked a little bit lower than the Cougars.
Right, yeah.
And they defeated the Cougars in the Apple Cup. I'm going to take the high road tonight. We're not even going to go into that, all right?
Hey, you know what, T? I don't care what people say about you, man. I knew you was a good dude. I really appreciate that, man. That's all right, buddy.
So, as we move forward, got that out the way, Thanksgiving. How was yours?
My Thanksgiving was great, man. My Thanksgiving was great. We went down.
Hold on. I'm getting some breaking news in my headset before. Nathaniel, there's breaking news.
And what might that be?
The University of Washington football team has just scored again.
Come on.
And the Huskies have scored again. I can't believe it. It's crazy, Drew. I've never heard anything quite like this.
I thought you said you wasn't gonna do this. See, I thought we talked about this.
I'm sorry.
And I said how my feelings was hurt and like my heart hurts for the Cougs that it went the way it went. And
I'm
I
sorry.
talked a bunch of trash on social media and all that before the game. And I went silent though. I went dark after the game. I didn't say a word.
Nothing? Okay.
Nothing.
Listen, I'm sorry. I had to get that out of my system. It's done. I won't do it again, all right?
Whatever,
Now, seriously, now moving forward. Thanksgiving. You guys just moved into your house.
Yeah.
Did you guys celebrate at the crib?
Nah, man, we went down to T-Town, got with moms, got with all the aunties and cousins and uncles, and did it down there in Tacoma, man. It was lovely. First holiday, you know, kind of bittersweet without my grandfather.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, we came together, we did the toast, and we listened to Al Green, because those was his cuss. It was him and my grandma's cuss. So we was Al Green. We taking shots. We did it, man. That's how we do it.
That's good, man. I'm glad y'all had a good time, man. I went and hung out with my family as well. I was a little disappointed, though. I think it was really Thanksgiving. It was great to spend time with the family. You know, my brothers were all there. The cousin in town, auntie was there from Arkansas. It was anticlimactic for me because I got so pumped up about all the food. You know, we talked about it all last week. We did the Thanksgiving dinner draft, and I was pumped up about all the food I was going to eat.
About that green bean casserole.
Yeah, and I made one, as a matter of fact, and it was delicious. But my point being is I think I got so hyped up in my mind about dinner that I made one plate. I made one plate with one little piece of turkey on it. I ate it, and I couldn't eat no more. I felt like I literally fell out. I had to go lay down.
What?
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on.
I was the opposite. And, you know, I tend to watch my figure, but I made a couple plates and, like, had a bowl of gumbo on the side, though. That's how we do it because we got, you know, chill from New Orleans, so we got to throw that gumbo in there, too.
That's right. So, basically, I'm upset that I didn't go hard like I wanted to, but there's always next year, right? We can always bounce back.
God willing.
Like your God willing. Yeah, we will move on to the next holiday, which is Christmas, which is really my favorite. So we're going to be celebrating Christmas around here in the barbershop from now until New Year's because I really love this time of year. Got the Christmas lights up. I had my Christmas lights up since early October, man. So that's how much I love that holiday.
Did you use them same people to put your lights up?
I do. Seattle. Okay. Yeah, Seattle Lights, man. They do me a great service, man.
And tell them I'm looking for them.
I will make sure I put the word in. True. One thing I want to talk to you about before we move on. Tonight we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's happening around the league and other places. And I want to talk to you about Eli Manning and the fact that he got benched following the last game. It was an ugly situation. I actually watched a little bit of the game, and it looked incredibly terrible. He was getting sacked every other play. He was throwing pick after pick after pick.
They also
and he
lost
just
to the
looked
49ers.
befuddled, and it was just terrible. And after the game, they had an interview, and, you know, he had been benched. And we got a copy of the interview. Nathaniel, if you could go ahead and drop that for us.
Doing the right thing.
He's like, how hard is this hitting you emotionally?
It's hard. It's been a hard day to handle this, but you know, hang in there and figure it out.
Hardest days of Johnny, you would say?
It's up there. Yeah.
Do you feel like you might have started your last game for the Giants?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll take it one week at a time.
Now, if you could have seen Eli's face during that interview, I mean, it was just the most. You felt terrible for him, man. But fortunately for the barbershop, we got some exclusive footage of him leaving that interview and leaving the facility as he was entering the parking lot. Nathan, you still got that?
Of course.
You're going to cry in the car.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
He had to cry in the car after that info, true. My question is, he got to cry in the car. My question to you is that the right decision? Did the management make the right decision? Did the coaching staff make the right decision setting him down? Now, the Giants are 2-9. Definitely not going to the playoffs.
Absolutely not going to the playoffs.
But did they make the right decision with benching him in favor of Geno Smith?
You know what? Personally, I don't really get it, and not too much. And you know, I'm not a jerk or nothing, T. But
you don't say.
Yeah, but I don't know if I care. I feel like Eli, with him, he gets a lot of chances. He's played a lot of good football, some great football, but then at times he's played some terrible football.
And that's the question I was leading to. So the fact that he has played some great football. Doesn't that give him the leeway? Shouldn't that afford him the respect to say, I'm not going to bench you in this nature?
I don't really think so, and maybe I'm just in a way because, I play defense, and, quarterbacks are treated a certain way, and that's just a known fact around the league. So quarterbacks, especially when you're a franchise guy like Eli was, and you've been to Super Bowls and you won Super Bowls and stuff like that, you're treated a certain way. But if you're not, it's a what have you done for me lately league, and all his receivers got hurt, and nobody likes a coach. Just all types of crazy stuff going on in New York right now. So I think as you treat everybody fairly, this kind of stuff happens. So.
I get it, but on the flip side, and I'm just playing the devil's advocate here because I really don't. I kind of have an opinion, and then I'll share it with you here, but I look at his career thus far, and I've never been necessarily the biggest Eli Manning fan.
Right.
But I look at his numbers here. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, 4-time Pro Bowler. He's the most prolific passer in the New York Giants franchise history with over 50,000 yards passing. I just think maybe there's a different way to have done this. Maybe because there's nothing really to gain at this point in time. At 2-9, you're not trying to put Geno Smith in to lead you to the playoffs.
Right.
It's basically just a demotion, and Geno Smith is not going to be the quarterback of the future for the Giants, anyways. I just look at it as it's a little bit disrespectful to Eli Manning and what he's contributed to the New York Giants. I understand that maybe he's not the quarterback for the future.
It's a disrespectful game, T.
I
disrespect is all the way around, and as a player, you always got to revert back to the business side of what they tell you to do. But it's an owner-driven league, and it's a disrespectful game. So I'm not surprised. Is it great? And just like you said, it's pretty disrespectful, yeah. But hey, man, that's the way the game goes.
Here's a question I got for you, then, True. Not only so I'm pretty confident, and this is the question I'm asking you. I'm pretty confident personally that Eli Manning will never wear a New York Giants uniform again. Do you believe that?
I agree.
Okay. So here's the bigger question.
You guys know you asked for his release today, right?
That I did not know that, and that's the question I was going to ask next. Do you think that he's done playing football? Because I thought when I saw him in the way he's looked this past season, and the way that he looked on Sunday, I was like, this guy's done. He doesn't want to play football anymore. What do you think?
I don't think he's done. I think the type of player he is and where he comes from as a family, that they would, if they go as long as he can, as a body will let him go. Even if you tell him no and everybody's telling him no in his ear, I think he has that little itch that in the back of his mind that says, I can still be the best. So I think he'll go out and I think his teams out there that would take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, there's a couple teams out there that could use a quarterback right now, especially some of the ones that passed on that one quarterback that used to play in San Francisco. I can't remember his name right now. But anyways, there are other crazy things that are going on in the National Football League, and we're going to definitely talk about that in the next segment of the Barbershop. And make sure you stay tuned, because later on in the show, you're going to have the opportunity to win some fabulous prizes from the Barbershop if you know your movie trivia. You're going to get a chance to play head up with Marcus Trufant when it comes to movie trivia. So stay tuned to the Barbershop right here, coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino on 950 KJ.
You know Dash River Dancer.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJO.
Come on. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show.
It's so good. It's so good.
It is so bad, man. And I just want everybody to know, if you have listened to the Barbershop Show in the past, there's a couple things that you know about me. One is that I love hip-hop. I love rap. I love the whole culture. Two, I hate DMX. I can't stand DMX. I told the whole world that listened to the show. And Nathaniel wants to rub it in.
It's
the
funny.
fact that I love Christmas and hate DMX.
It's a Christmas classic done by an American icon.
How could you hate DMX though?
Because
that was
he's
great
whack.
music
I mean,
in his era.
the only thing that
was
would be
great.
better would be Michael Bublé.
No, I would rather listen to Michael Bublé than listen to DMX in Christmas songs.
So
I
you
really would.
okay? Wait, T. So you said that you like green bean casserole, and
So
now
no.
you hate DMX.
Are you trying to officially pull
I
my?
don't know, man.
my
That's 2
hood-
strikes.
You trying to pull my hood pass right now on the air?
That's 2 strikes, T. You got one more, and I don't know.
I just already said I listened to Michael Bublé. I'm sorry. It's the Barbershop Show coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino, the Above It All experience. It's Marcus Trufant, T. Holla in here hanging out. We'll be hanging out with you guys until 8 o'clock. Appreciate you guys for doing your thing, being here with us. True, I wanted to talk to you about this thing that happened last week in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fight that took place between Aqib Talib and Michael Crabtree. And I don't know if everybody out there saw this or not, but to give you a little bit of the history, last year those two went at it during a game. And apparently Aqib Talib snatched Michael Crabtree's chain off his neck during the game. I know Nathaniel has a clip of the actual thing going down.
Man, my grandmama gave me that chain.
Oh, Red. You can never go wrong with Red.
Never go wrong with Red. So he snatched his chain off, and they fought last year. So and it just carried over until this year. This past weekend, they went head up again. Apparently, Michael Crabtree socked up another defensive back, Chris Harris, in the stomach, and Harris came to the sideline. Was like, "Yo, man, Crabtree's out there tripping.
Let's jump him."
Let's jump him." And that's what happened. So Aqib Talib went out there and snatched his chain again. And they went to fisticuffs. And ultimately, so they got suspended for 2 games.
Right.
And they went and appealed, and it got dropped down to 1 game. But my big question to you is, first of all, how do you feel about what went down on the field? And how do you feel about how it was handled by the league?
Well, what went down on the field, I felt like, it went a little too far. There's cameras everywhere, and it went too far. Even though football is a brutal game and it's tough, and that's why people love to watch it, because of the contact and just all the craziness that goes on in between the lines. But when you got fights and stuff like that, I think it's a bad look. And but stuff like that is going on when I would say the camera's not looking, or when the coaches aren't looking, like in those pile-ups. It's all types of twists.
So you trying to let us know a
turns.
secret that used to be the sneaky soccer? Used to be
Hey.
hitting people in the stomach?
If I could get away with it, if you do it. Because if you don't do it, it's either you eat or you get eaten, man.
Right.
And you got to go after it, and you got to go at it. And that's a big part of it. And a lot of people, I'm going to take it a step further. When you live like that on the field, and you have to be like that in order to survive, I think, and then you come off the field, that's where you get, I feel like, a little bit of the bipolar side of a NFL player. That's
You have to turn into an animal.
Yeah,
To be
you gotta
fair, on Aqib Talib, he did say to him last year, "Hey, if you wear that chain, I'm going to snatch it." He told him, not that it was right, but he definitely told him that chain's getting snatched. He warned him.
No, Nathaniel. So what does that mean?
There's an interview. I could pull it up and play it for you.
He can't back down from it, though.
That's the problem.
Of course
That's
not.
the problem. You're a man. You don't want to back down from something like
I think that Talib thought it was a game, because it looked like he was smiling at first, kind of when he first snatched it off, right?
But then
Aqib
they
Talib
start
doesn't
chunking.
joke like
Crabtree
that. though.
wasn't playing no games,
that.
though.
He was not playing at all. He took his helmet off. They were throwing real live punches. People on the sideline looked like they were endangered. Some of the officials that were like trying to get out the way, like, nah, it's really going down. So that was the next question I wanted to ask you, and I know I wanted to talk about this for much longer. I know we got a break coming up, but it was just, to get suspended, and these guys are going to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. When it was a 2-game suspension, Talib was going to lose $1 million in checks. Crabtree was going to lose $500,000. But the question I have here is, we see this all the time, and I've listened to some of the experts say this is such a black eye on the game. This is the reason why people are protesting. They don't want to see these millionaire thugs out there fighting, look like street thugs. They look like, they're animals.
Right.
And this is my question is, are they going too far? And I got my own. I'm going to tell you my opinion on it here in a second,
Right.
but of course I want to hear yours first.
They're definitely going too far when they say that. Things spill over in a game that's brutal. So there's other sports where things get just as crazy. I know we talked about this off air. You look at a sport like hockey.
Right.
They're I don't know if I've heard anybody say that that's giving the game a black eye. You got guys fighting and they let them fight. Everybody scoots to the side and the refs
It is
watch.
encouraged.
Yeah. So
people go to the game to see the fight, Drew.
Yeah, so I know in football that's not a part of the game, but sometimes stuff happens, and that's in anything. So I don't think it's a black eye. I think you do have to control it, and you have to find guys. You got to do certain things, but the stuff happens on the field, man.
Right. I think here's my opinion on it. I think that, of course, as a professional, you want to draw the line between, being aggressive, being a tough guy, and being, where these guys were. They absolutely crossed the line. That being said, there's an absolute double standard. You have sports like hockey where it's, like I said, encouraged to fight. People go to see the fight. It'll be entire bench-clearing people fighting. You go to baseball. These guys are throwing balls at guys' heads that will permanently damage you forever if you get hit in the face with a baseball.
100 miles an hour.
And then they clear the benches and brawl, and nothing ever happens. And you don't hear people talking about, this is a black eye on that sport. These guys are thugs. These guys are animals. They don't deserve the privilege to play anymore like you hear in football. And, I have my own opinions as to why that is. But I just don't think it's fair. Should these guys be punished? Absolutely. But I don't think the opinion.
Is it a black and white thing?
It is absolutely a black and white thing. It's absolutely a black and white thing, and it's unfortunate that has to be like that. But I mean, that's the way it is. And again, I hear the experts saying, and all the critics saying, this is the reason why people are turning away from the NFL. They don't want to see this thuggery. They don't want to see these animals. But you want to watch them go out there and beat each other's head in play after play.
Yeah.
But you don't want to see this. And again, we could go on this all night, True. It's really a sore subject for me because I don't like double standards.
Right, yeah.
And I think there's a double standard here.
They were the only two that got fined and suspended?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
No.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Cause I heard there was some other guys involved, I guess some linemen and stuff like that, but they didn't get charged. Or
they get charged.
Not charged, but they didn't get the fine. Yeah. The fine man ain't come get them.
Not yet.
Okay.
Hey, we will keep following this and see what happens because I'm sure there's more going to be. It's going to be more fallout from this, man. People are going to be upset. The fact that it was reduced to a 1-game suspension for both. Some people are upset about that, and some people are upset at the fact that these guys even got suspended when there was a fight earlier in the year that took place and nobody got suspended. So we'll follow this as we go along throughout the rest of the year in the barbershop. But when we come back, we're going to talk about those Seahawks, though. And make sure you stay tuned because you're going to have an opportunity to win some fabulous prizes from the barbershop if you can beat Marcus Trufant at movie trivia. So make sure you stay tuned to the barbershop, broadcasting live from Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's closest casino, right here on Sports Radio 950 KI.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's T. Holler and True, and we are back for the second half of the Barbershop Show. Thank you for hanging out with us here at Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's closest casino, the Above It All experience, and my man Nathaniel got happy with the track right there, man.
I love that song so much. I did
love
not
him
mean
from Cameo.
I didn't mean to play it that soon. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Word Up. Word Up is just one of those songs.
It's a Bay Area. Cameo is from the Bay. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I mean, you didn't know that, did you?
I didn't even know it was from the Bay. I just really like this song. I think it's weird and it's fun and different.
I've always wanted to dress up as Cameo for for Halloween.
You know what's crazy?
The all black and the red cup.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is because I'm old enough to have not dressed up like Cameo. I never wore the outfit, but the hairstyle. He was like the original with the high top fade.
Oh yeah.
We used to call it the Cameo, the hair. It's crazy. I took my son today to get a haircut, and I cut his hair. I cut his hair into the hairstyle like Cameo.
Flat top.
It was pretty fresh. True, man.
What's up, dog? What up?
Hey, man, I'm just having a good time hanging out with you, man. We've been talking all things sports, all things NFL, a little bit of extracurricular stuff that's taking place off the field. But now we got to talk about these Seattle Seahawks, man. And I know a lot of people out there are really on the edge of their seat when it comes to these Seahawks. But before we get to the Seahawks, I just got some information that came across my phone on a text message. Nathaniel, you know what happened? Myles Gaskin and the Huskies just scored another touchdown. Oh, my God. I've never seen anything like this. What is going on with the Cougars?
Really?
They cannot stop. It's 5 days past the Apple Cup, and we are still scoring touchdowns, True?
To be fair, this was all his idea.
Oh, God. I thought you guys had some class, man. I thought you guys had a little class.
I'm sorry.
That's what it felt like, though. They just kept scoring and scoring and scoring. And
they just couldn't
that was
stop.
tough.
They couldn't stop.
Still go Cougs, but damn.
I'm getting over. I'm done. I got it out of my system. I'm done.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. That's in my feelings hurt.
That's cool, man. I'll buy you a drink.
Ain't no comeback, though. It's no comeback.
No, I know. That's why I said that's why I said I'm not gonna gloat tonight.
And this is how many years in a row? Because I know we got our heads beat in last year too. So
I don't even really know. 5. 5 years in a row.
And I didn't win one as a player. I went 4 years straight and didn't get one. And now it's 5 in a row.
And now nobody that's on the Cougars team has ever beat the Huskies right now either. So don't feel bad. You in a group with like at least 100 and something other kids. At least. So don't feel bad, True.
Hey, man, I'm still shining out here, though, man. So, you know.
But listen, I'm not going to talk about it no more for the rest of the night, I promise, all right?
Whatever.
We cool? Hey, listen, man. The Seahawks, they're coming off a win down in San Francisco against the lowly 49ers. Nathaniel, that was for you. And it was just, the game was so awkward, man. It was a snoozer of a game in the first half. I don't know what they put in the Russell Wilson's, what is that stuff he drinks, that like Jesus water he drinks at halftime? He had something special in that water because they turned it on in the second half, and it was a tale of two halves. They put the beat down on them. But the question I want to ask you, True, is if I would have told you during the preseason that these Seattle Seahawks would be dependent upon some guys named Nick Van Eck and Bradley McDougal and Byron Maxwell and Jeremy Lane, would you have believed me? Would you have believed that had even been possible, that we would be dependent on those guys right now?
Well, you know, as a team and even as coaches and staff, you go into a season and you always know that injuries are part of the game. Yes. But you pray every night that your key guys are going to make it as far as they can throughout the season, because your team only goes as far as the injury bug goes. If everybody gets hurt, usually that's when the season goes downhill. But, the Hawks have been holding on for a long time, but that injury bug has snuck up on them. A lot of key guys, just like you said, the backups are stepping in, and they're playing good. Feel like they're playing okay, but Sherm is down, Cam, and that Legion of Boom is tough right now, man, because it's, everybody is used to seeing those guys all together and making it happen.
Yeah, and you mentioned Cam Chancellor, and that's one specifically that I want to talk about, because you look at Cam and the impact that he's had on this team really since he's been here. He earned the nickname the Enforcer for a reason, and he was one of the guys that made it very difficult for guys to come across the middle and difficult for guys running the ball, because he was going to intimidate you.
Right.
He was going to be the enforcer of that Legion of Boom. He was the boom in the Legion of Boom. And he came down with an injury, which was to his neck. He kept getting stingers, and it was uncertain whether or not he was going to be able to come back and finish the season. Earlier this week, Coach Carroll came out and said, nope, he's definitely done this season, and there's a possibility he might not play football again. So before we go further into what is going on with this team, I just want to address that issue, like how serious it is when it comes to injuries like this. And you got a guy like Cam Chancellor who puts his body on the line day in and day out, and to have to be facing, this, put in this position where I have to decide whether I want to come back and join my brothers on this team and put myself at further risk for future injuries and future pain down the line.
Right. Well, I think it's tough, man. I think it's tough for the younger players from this standpoint, that when I was I guess even when I was playing, and I'm not I don't see myself as an old-time player, but there's so much information and stuff out there now. There's all these stats, all these doctors, all this stuff is coming out about stuff that happens to NFL players. Even if you hit a guy one time and you look at a guy like Cam Chancellor that's really inflicting a lot of pain on other players, but it's two sides of that.
Right.
He is running into those guys, and he's feeling a lot of that impact as well. So I think it's a mental thing as well. I know you only got so much tread on the tire as far as a player, and you can only go as far as you can go. I think this is Cam's eighth year.
Season, yes.
Yeah, so he's not a young player, and he plays the way he plays, and he's been doing it well, but he plays at a level and with the intensity that you're just beating yourself up. Right. And you can only go for so long. So I think it's a mental thing for Cam and anybody who gets injured. You know, you talk about neck and you talk about back and those type of injuries. Every injury really is going to last you a lifetime, but I think when you talk about injuries like that, it takes some extra awareness, and it makes it tough to be like, okay, I can come back from this, or, you know, how is this going to affect me long term and all that kind of stuff. Just like I said, there's so much information out there now. It's scary stuff, man.
It is very scary. And, you know, like you said, Cam Chancellor only knows how to play the game one kind of way. Mm-hmm. And you're dealing with a neck injury like the one that he's dealing with, you know, you put yourself at risk every time you step on that field. And Cliff Averill is another guy who had a very serious back injury. He actually has surgery on Tuesday. And, again, it's questionable that these guys will ever play football again. Now, I asked you earlier in the year when we looked at the injury with Richard Sherman, a ruptured Achilles when he was done for the season. And I saw some of the writing on the wall. Some of these guys are getting a little bit older. I know Richard was looking for some other things to happen earlier in the season and late last season as far as maybe contract-wise and some other teams that were looking to trade for him. At this point, again, I'm going to ask you, have we seen the last of the LOB as we know the LOB?
Tough to say, T, but I don't think so. I don't know everybody's contract, and I said this a couple shows ago. A lot these guys are smart, so you know they make sure that they can't go old school on you and just backload your contract, and then they cut you as you get older and you start getting injuries like this. So I assume that these guys' contracts are worked out to the way where things like this happen. The team may not really have a choice. They have to keep them around because they're making so much money or so much guaranteed money. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's tough, man. I think with the injuries, like I said, man, there's only so much tread on the tire, and after injuries like this start to happen, I know for backs, I know from speaking from experience, they tend to happen again.
Yeah.
I never had surgery on my back, but my disc, I think that's what Cliff Averill has, right? He has a bulging disc. My injuries healed up naturally, but I'm sitting here in this chair right now, and I can only sit like this for so long.
Right.
Yeah, I got to move around.
Right.
I got some tingling in my calf, tingling in my toes. So it's stuff that stays with you for a lifetime. And like I said, once they start happening, they stand to keep going and going. So it's tough.
At the end of the day, I think that both True and I really just wish the best for them, Cam and Cliff, respectively, and Sherm. That they nurse themselves back to full health, and they make the decision that's best for them, the best for their families. You are listening to The Barbershop, coming to you live here on Sports Radio 950. We are at Snoqualmie Casino, talking all things Seahawks. We want to hear from you guys. 49451, text us here on the text toy. Do you think we have seen the last of the LOB as we know the LOB? Whether that be from injuries, whether that be from contract issues, guys being traded. Have we seen Cam and Sherm and Earl Thomas on the field together in Seahawks uniforms for the very last time? 49451. One guy that I'm positive that we have not seen the last of in a Seahawks uniform is Bobby Wagner, True. Bobby is playing football as good as anybody I've seen play football in the last decade, man. He is basically, when I watch him, he is what I would say the definition of being in the zone is. And I know you've been in the zone. I've been in it before. And the zone is a spot where you are so in tune with everything that's going on physically, so in tune with everything mentally. You're so fundamentally on point and sound with everything you do that thinking about the football game is not even a question. You don't even think about it. Do you agree with me? That's what it's like being in the zone?
You just react, and you just react. And people talk about it all the time. It's kind of cliche. The game slows down for you, but it actually does, and it's easy to you. You see stuff, and you just react, and you just go, and that's what Bobby is doing right now. Bobby is the perfect mix between, the mental part of the game, and he's athletic enough to where you put that together with being a step ahead of everybody, he's unstoppable, and that's what he's doing out there, man. And he's making it look easy. It's like he's really enjoying it. He's playing the game.
Yeah, he absolutely is. He's stepping up for the guys that are missing in action, and I think he is. If he keeps continuing this, like I said, this past game he's gone over 100 for 100 tackles in this season already. The game, like you said, looks easy to him. He's moving around, making plays on balls. He's stopping the run. He's just, in my opinion, he's the most valuable defensive player in the National Football League right now, and it's just incredible to watch him do his thing. Another guy that has proven me wrong this season, and I have no problem admitting it true, is Jimmy Graham.
Okay.
Jimmy Graham has stepped up. In the beginning of the season, I remember we had to have several discussions about this, and it was, Jimmy has not lived up to all his expectations. We wanted him to become the guy in the red zone to score touchdowns for the Seahawks team. At times, to me, looked complacent, and I said I thought that the Jimmy Graham experiment was over.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I have completely done a flip-flop. I think he's irreplaceable. You look at him right now, he is the second leading receiver as far as touchdowns goes in the National Football League. He has now become the all-time leading touchdown receiving leader in the franchise history as far as tight ends go, surpassing Jeremy Stevens. The guy is just, he's a freak. And that's the only thing I've always wanted was for them to utilize him properly.
Right. And I feel like he's still not, up to his standard.
Right.
I know that he's getting better and he's looking a little bit better, but I know that, the Jimmy Graham I know and that I've seen and that I've played against is a guy that's really a game changer. And I know that he's a matchup problem and in the red zone and really anywhere. Right. He's not going to run by anybody, but he definitely has great body control and is able to make things happen. But I think it's at a couple of different levels. You got to get the blocking right. You got to get the quarterback to be able to get the ball to him. You just got to make it happen. And at times you got to catch it because it's, a couple plays he drops the ball. But I know Jimmy is going to be Jimmy. So you find a way to make it happen, man, and as you get older, you get craftier, and I see him getting real crafty.
Yeah, he's getting real crafty. And again, at Father Time, nobody can escape him. But, you see Jimmy Graham has probably lost a step. He's not as fast as he used to be. Probably
and
not
the
as
injuries,
agile
too.
As and injuries will add up, absolutely. But, again, you cannot – there's something about being 6'7". That's, and it's something about being able to jump.
And he got dog in him.
He does.
A lot of people – I think might have said, even Michael Bennett said he was soft, right?
Yeah.
So, but he plays with a type of aggression, and once he gets going and once he gets flowing and going and he's catching balls, he's making stuff happen, I think he turns into a different player.
So the Philadelphia Eagles come into CenturyLink this weekend, True. Sunday night game, prime time once again, 10-1. The Seahawks are the underdogs, 5-point underdogs for the first time in like 5 years in CenturyLink Field. So the question I have for you and for everybody out there listening, do the Seahawks have a realistic shot at winning this game? Do they have an opportunity to win this being such a big, a heavily favored underdog, a dog in this game?
I think so, T. Especially when you're talking about coming into C-Link, the Seahawks always got a chance. The crowd is crazy, and I know it's going to be a wild game, man. It's going to be a good game. But I think the tale of this, of course the defense got to step up because the young man, Carson Wentz over there, is on fire, and he's doing his thing. So pass rush got to be heavy. The pass and coverage got to work together, of course, with the secondary and with guys that have stepped up and had to step in the place and make it happen. They got to work hand in hand with the pass rush. It can't just be a set hike and just throw the ball because the coverage has to be there. That's going to give the guys up front enough time to get to the quarterback. But I think they got a hell of a chance, man. And on the offense, the running game, and everybody got to show up. And I know that last game that Eddie Lacy didn't have a lot of yards.
Yeah, no, you don't say.
But to me,
Eddie Lacy has taken the place of Jimmy Graham.
Wait.
Eddie Lacy has taken the place of the Seahawks dog for me. He's in the doghouse.
Eddie Lacy looked like he had a little extra wiggle to him for some reason. For some reason, T. It looked like he was moving a little bit faster, like he was getting there a little bit faster. He really wasn't going
Nowhere.
But it just
he just had a little bit more effort with going nowhere.
But it looked like it was coming together. It looked so. I think that Eddie Lacy, he could have a breakout game this game.
I don't believe it. I believe it when I see it.
I said it first. If it do happen, I said it. Listen, I said it first. I saw something, T. I saw something.
I understand what you're saying because he did, to me, look like he had a little extra.
A little extra
burst.
Pop, man. A little extra giddy up.
When I saw that he could not punch the ball in from the 1 yard line, and they had to go away from him, I was like, look, the guy's 260 pounds, and you can't punch it in. It's just unacceptable.
And it's a team game.
I understand it is a team game, but at some point you have to put the thing on your shoulders and say, look, it's pride at some point where I'm going to gain at least a yard and score a touchdown when my team needs to have it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to put all the blame on my man Eddie Lacy because there's really nobody in that backfield that is really moving the ball for me except for Russell Wilson.
Right.
You got Thomas Ross, who has not lived up to expectations this season. He's actually been sitting on the sideline watching the majority of the game. C.J. Prosise cannot get out of the tub. He's been in there icing his ankle all season. The only one that kind of moves the needle for me has been McKissick. Yeah. And he's not a guy you want to put in there on every single down because I'm not sure if he can make it. But that being said, he's the one that's moving the needle for me. He can catch the ball out of the backfield and make people miss and run past people, and he looks like he's not afraid of contact, and he'll stick it up in there. I just get kind of nervous when he does, just because he's a little bit more slightly built than you would want your every down running back to be. That being said, again, I want to look at this team real quick, True, before we head to break, and I want to shoot this question again out to everybody out there listening. Text us in, 49451. Looking at the state of the Seahawks today, November 29th, 2017. Are we being realistic in saying that this team, as it looks today, with Bradley McDougal, Byron Maxwell, Jeremy Lane, no Cam Chancellor, no Cliff Averill, no Richard Sherman, are we being realistic about the Seahawks and their playoff hopes?
I think so. Because we still got Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Russell Wilson has put the team on his back. And whether you like that or you don't, he has and he's done it, and we're being successful with it. So, it's not perfect. It doesn't look good all the time. It's not the games maybe we want to see. But and then you talk about that secondary. Those guys are doing good.
They're doing good.
Yeah,
but we have not yet faced the kind of opponent that would put them to a real test. We played San Francisco.
Right. Everybody's in the NFL, T. I don't like people. I don't like when people do that.
I know.
Yeah, we played San Francisco, but they got guys over there that can play too. And you can only play against who you can play against. So this coming Sunday, it's going to be a good test.
All right.
For the defense in general. Because they got run game, they got quarterback, they got it all. So they got to step up. And I know that they're preparing well. And they're kind of like a bend but don't break. Mm-hmm. Of course, with these other guys that are stepping in because they're not Sherm and certain plays I see Lane and Max out there they're doing well, but Sherm is Sherm. Sherm can go up and he's pretty much a receiver that's playing corner. And so those 50-50 balls, he can come down with those interceptions and turn the field around. Right. These guys aren't really those players, but they play well.
All right. Text us in here, 49451. Let us know what you think. Are we being realistic about the Seahawks making the playoffs this year? I'll give you my opinion real quick. I've just been the devil's advocate as we've been having this conversation, True, because I really believe in watching those guys last weekend that Byron Maxwell, you kind of put him in an impossible situation coming off the street, jumping into the NFL, having about a week and a half under his belt worth of playing, to be doing as well as he did. He played extremely well. Jeremy Lane, he made some incredible plays on balls. He made some good tackles, and I was really impressed with those guys. Bradley McDougal did his thing back there as well. When you have Earl Thomas back there taking up the center field, knocking down everything that comes his way, you got to appreciate that too. And like you said, True, as long as you have Russell Wilson in your offensive backfield, you always have a chance to win the game. And I don't care what the situation is. You never see the Seahawks. As long as I've seen this team with Russell Wilson as a quarterback, I've never seen them in a game where they've been blown out and when they didn't have a chance to win in the fourth quarter.
Right.
And I think Russell Wilson is just that kind of a guy. For whatever reason, that gives the team an opportunity to win every single time. So I'm anxious to see how the season plays out for the rest of the year. They got a tough road ahead of them, but I think if the 12s band together and they get out there to CenturyLink Field and make that noise like we know you guys are known to do.
Make the noise.
Make that noise. We want to bring the noise this Sunday at prime time. CenturyLink Field. Be there as the Seahawks take on the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be there. True be there. Matter of fact, if you guys get down there early, come hang out with both of us in Touchdown City. We'll be at the Sparkling Ice booth, having a little sparkling ice, taking pictures, shaking hands, and kissing babies like we do, man. When we come back, though, we're going to talk a little college football. But those of you that are into movies and you think you know movie trivia, we are going to play Movie Trivia Madness with Marcus Trufant. And if you can beat him, we're going to send you a prize. Make sure you stay tuned to the Barbershop here on Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's T. Holla, Marcus Trufant coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino. And we got Rick James on the mix.
James.
You like that?
I dig it, Nathaniel. How you know about Rick James, man?
Man, I know all about all this stuff. Don't worry about it.
First you had Cameo on the last break. Now you hit us with the Rick James.
Wait till I got my finisher. Wait for my finisher.
You got a finisher?
Rick James bring the party. That's what I'm talking about.
Rick James is
Ain't the weekend
middle.
yet, though. Huh?
Keeps the party going.
While we in the casino, we might as well get like Rick James. You feel me? Yes, we are having a great time here tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. True, I want to talk to you a little bit about this thing that happened last weekend. Nathaniel, you know, there was a game that happened on Saturday. I believe they call it the Apple Cup. And, unfortunately, the Cougars didn't fare so well, True.
You don't say.
Nathaniel, you know what happened just now, though? The Huskies have just scored another touchdown. Oh, my God, it's unbelievable. How do you score another touchdown on Wednesday when the game was played last Saturday? That's incredible, True. Have you ever seen such craziness?
I can't hear you. I don't think my headset's working.
I think Luke Falk got sacked earlier too. Again.
I think he did once again.
Turn me up. I can't hear y'all. I can't hear you.
Vita Vea is running through here cramping like a wild rhinoceros right now.
Jesus.
Still, I want to talk to you about a couple of the guys that played in that game and their NFL hopes and looking at what they're going to be doing leading into the future. For instance, Luke Falk. Luke Falk is a prototypical size quarterback. Last year, threw for over 4,500 yards. But this season, he kind of fell off, True. So if he would have left school last year, I think it's possible that he could have been like maybe even a first-round draft pick, one of the first quarterbacks selected. Right now, he's barely even being talked about. I mean, what do you think about him and his potential on the next level?
Well, there's people looking at you. Somebody looked and they said a Falk in the first round, and they gave the stank face. They was like, what?
I know, right?
Are you kidding me?
I'm saying last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year, well, Falk, I think he is size and arm strength and all that kind of stuff. And I think as people see him, you say he fell off or whatever, I think he can shock a lot of people when he gets to the league, man. I think he got a lot of potential. And I think if he gets in the right system, of course, you can see that he could throw the ball around and he could do some stuff. So I'm just hoping that timing of it comes together. So like I said, I didn't like what I saw in the Apple Cup.
Yeah. I mean, it was very unfortunate what happened to him. Vita Vea was all over his back. He looked uncomfortable all night. I'm not sure what his potential is going to be. If he gets a shot, I think he'll be okay. But right now, it's just a matter of him getting a shot in the NFL. Looking at another guy like Myles Gaskin, he basically owns every University of Washington rushing record. He has the potential to go next year and play on the next level, I think. But there's some questions about his size and his ability on the next level because he's smaller. And I don't know. You've got a chance to watch him play, obviously. What do you think about his potential coming out?
I like how he moves, man, and I think this is the new wave of the NFL, getting that hybrid, kind of the receiver-ish, the running back-ish, third down-ish guy that you can bring in and do a bunch of there's special stuff with. You can split them up out and get the matchups and change things up. So I think it's a good look. I think it's definitely a good look.
Well, listen, I know that, one of us that are sitting here had an opportunity to be in college and, look at what it looked like going to the NFL, being drafted. So I want to kind of do something that we haven't done here in a while. We used to do it all the time. Back in the day, there's a little segment we used to do here. We talk about what it was like when we were playing either in college or you in the National Football League. So here, we want to go back in the day and talk about a young Marcus Trufant, what it was like when you finished your last Apple Cup, your last bowl game, and you thought you had it. When did you know you had a chance to go play on the next level?
Well, T, it was a different time back then. Like you said, back in the day, brother, back in the day. But there was social media, but it wasn't social media. And I was a guy, I didn't follow a lot of the magazines and the rankings and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't know until later, or I didn't buy into what agents might be saying or the TV stations may be saying or where I'm ranked. So, I all the way to like my junior and senior year, and that's when people come out the woodwork. You kind of hear, you kind of see stuff, but not till I actually went. What was it? I think it was the Senior Bowl, and I started playing against some of these other guys and kind of locking them down. Of course, they hate. They say, "Where you from?" I say Washington, and they like, "What part of D.C.?" and blah blah blah.
Yes.
And I say, and I went to Washington State, and they was hating on that, of course. They say football is played down south, Texas, Florida, maybe even California. They don't think no ball players come from Washington. But it's one of those things that I know back then I know I really had to prove it to myself that I was that type of player and not really go off what all the magazines was saying. But, yeah, man, it was one of those things. Eventually I bought in, man, and I was ready to go. I was nervous as heck, but I was trying to figure it out.
I wasn't fortunate enough to go to the next level, but I do have a real funny back-in-the-day story. I can share real quick. It brings to mind the story about Myles Gaskin and his ability to play on the next level because he was considered smaller. I had a guy that I used to look up to that was like my big brother when I was at UW, and his name was Napoleon Kaufman. And I used to run with him every single day. And this is a testament to some of you fans out there that are listening that look at these college football players and you see them as you sometimes forget that they are just kids, right?
Right.
They're, just young men just trying to figure things out. Napoleon Kaufman had pictures of all his favorite running backs on the wall. Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, all these guys were all on his wall. And he was thinking about coming out early his junior year. And all the experts were saying, he's too small, he'll never make it. And so he used to have like a chip on his shoulder because of being everybody saying he was too small. So that's why he trained so hard, lifted weights so hard, bench pressed 400 pounds, right? One night, he and I were out on the town. We were hanging out in the nightclub, and we see Bo Jackson in the nightclub in Seattle.
What?
Yeah. Nip was like, "Oh, man, it's Bo Jackson, man. I can't believe it. I'm going to go see him."
Yeah.
He goes over to Bo Jackson, and he comes back mad as hell. He's like, "Come on, let's leave, man. Let's go." I'm like, "What's up?" He wouldn't tell me the whole time. We finally get outside, get in the car. I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "I went over to Bo Jackson. I introduced myself. I said, 'Hi, Bo Jackson. I'm Napoleon Kaufman.'" He said, "Oh, you're Napoleon. You are too small." Dead honest truth. He goes home. We go to his apartment. He tears all the posters off his wall.
Yeah.
He was pissed off. The moral of that story is he went to the Oakland Raiders, drafted in the first round, and broke all the records. He balled out. Still, I think to this day has the most yards per carry of any running back in Oakland Raiders history. So, kids, never believe that you're too small. Never believe what the people say about you, man. If you believe you can do it, go give it a shot, man. Give it your all you can try. Hey, listen, right now what we're going to do is we're going to play. If you believe you can beat Marcus Trufant at movie trivia, we need you to call us right now. And listen, don't be bogus. Don't just call up here. You need to really know your movies, okay? I need you to hit us up right now, 206-286-9595. That's 206-286-9595. 9595. If you think you know movie trivia and you can beat Marcus, hit us up right now. It's the Barbershop coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino on 950 KJ.
Girl, I must.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
We are back in the Barbershop with BBD.
Hey.
True, obviously. Nathaniel, what do you got going on over there, man?
I don't know. They're all fun 80s party songs.
That's what it is. The 80s, huh?
The 80s. I don't know. I just felt like some Poison, some Cameo.
It's gotta be 90s. It's 90s, you sure?
Poison? Yeah, Poison was probably like 1990, 91.
Okay, my bad. 90s songs. Party songs. That was the theme.
The karaoke songs too, because this is my karaoke joint right here. This is my go-to.
3 songs that wherever you are, they come on and everyone just like, yeah.
Well, you know us. We like to party.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, the party is going to continue here in the Barbershop as we get ready to rock it out and close the show out with Movie Trivia Madness with Marcus Trufant. A lot of people called in. They think they can beat you at movie trivia, Marcus.
I mean, it's been like that my whole life. Everybody think they can beat me, too.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they're going to get only one gets a shot tonight. And tonight we have Elise from Marysville calling in. Elise, how are you tonight?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
All right.
Really good. You feel like you can beat Marcus tonight at movie trivia?
I'm going to try.
All right, well, here's the rules. We're going to play a couple movie clips. And if you think you know what movie that's from, I need you to give me a buzzer sound. What is your buzzer sound? All right, that's your buzzer sound. True, you're going to just say Cougs.
All right, I'll say Cougs.
Yeah, you roll with the Cougs, all right? Alisa, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
True, are you ready?
Let's do it.
The first movie clip, please.
Put the gun down and give me a pack of tropical fruit Bubblicious. And some Skittles.
Cougs. Easy. That's
Marcus
easy money.
Trufant.
Bad Boys.
Nathaniel, is it Bad Boys?
Got it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Easy money, Elise.
Elise, were you sleeping on the dial? What's going on?
No, he's good.
He must be good. Nathan, you have to turn us up too, man. Let's hear it a little bit louder. Number 2.
Tell me something, my friend. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What? I always ask that of all my prey.
Elise, what movie is that?
Oh my God. Dance with the devil in the pale.
5.
Fuck.
4.
I know it's Jack Nicholson. I don't know.
3, 2.
Oh, Elise, you out of there and you cuss.
Cougs. I know.
True, what is it?
I just like.
It's Batman.
Nathaniel, is it Batman?
It's Batman. Yeah.
Bah.
Nice.
Elise, you are down 2-0. What's going on?
I'm on fire.
Okay, my husband jumped me with this.
Okay, this is gonna be it's gonna be the one that changes it. We're gonna get you back on the board right now, Elise. Nathaniel, hit us with movie number 3.
What are my chances?
Not good.
Ooh, that's tough.
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000.
I don't know. I just watched this stuff. Oh my goodness.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Neither one of you.
Yeah! Cougs. Cougs.
Marcus, what movie is that?
Shoot.
You finna cuss too, huh?
Nah.
You better not.
Jim Carrey, right?
Okay, you got that part.
Dumb and Dumber?
Nathaniel.
That is correct.
Yeah!
The hat trick. The hat trick. She has to get one right to even tie you.
Elise, you feel like this is the Apple Cup and you are the Cougars right now.
I'm in the zone. Whoa, easy.
I feel the same way, but I got jumped at the last second. My husband's like, here, take the phone.
I'm in the zone.
All right, well, we're just going to play it out, man. Nathaniel, give us the next one.
You listen to me. I want you to get your ass up today, go out and look for a job. The word today is Job. J-O-B. You hear me?
Oh.
Yeah. For job.
Elise.
Fridays?
For moral support. Just for the moral victory here. Elise says Friday. Nathaniel.
That is correct.
All right. Okay.
You got to give her an applause for that.
Yeah.
All right. We got one more,
out of
don't
four.
we, Nathaniel? We got one more, don't we?
We actually have two more. But
Okay, let's hit it. Well, come on, let's hit it.
You want to do both, or you want to?
Yeah, let's hit it. Let's see.
All right. This one's my favorite.
And I will strike down upon thee with great...
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Is it Pulp Fiction?
Yep.
It is Pulp
Wow,
Fiction.
okay.
So Elise, what, has two now?
Making it close.
So if she gets this one, she ties, and maybe I have to find a tiebreaker. I don't know.
All right, well, let's give it a run real quick. Let's hit it.
There's a plane waiting for us to take us to Miami in an hour. Don't make a big thing about it. I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
Oh, Godfather.
Your buzzer.
Godfather.
She got
Is
it.
it Godfather?
She got it.
She got it.
All
She
right.
came back. True.
Should I try and find a real quick surprise one and tiebreaker?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. Since we are running out of time, I'm going to go ahead and send her a prize. I'm going to go ahead and send her, because we are at the barbershop.
That's how we get
We
down.
get down like that, because you had such a comeback.
Great
You
plan,
never gave
Elise.
up. You always had fight within you, Elise. You never gave up on yourself. And you live in Snohomish County, and we represent for Snohomish County out here.
You just did a big story about being
Hey,
small.
thank you, Elise. Nathaniel's going to get you information, and we're going to send you a barbershop shirt.
So very much.
All right, Elise.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Elise.
calling
It
in
was
and playing
fun.
with us. Hey, ladies
Thank
and gentlemen.
you. You guys have a good night.
You too. It's been another incredible night coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino. True and I are about to hop in the car and head over across the mountains, hang out with some apple farmers and some kids.
Yeah.
We really are going to do that. You laughing, but we really are.
Yeah. Hey, but we went over there with the dairy farmers, the people that involved with the Play 60, partnered up with the NFL. So, we're going to go over there and do our thing.
That's right. We're going to have a great time, man. But until next week, it's the Barbershop coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino. Thank you for joining us. Peace out.